The following is a semi-professional... fuck it, read it yourself. Welcome back to Nihilhalla Nondescripts. We're gonna do kind of a... I don't want to say like a super chill episode, but this is a colony management simulator, or actually it even says it right here, colony simulator, by Tynan Sylvester. I'm assuming that's pronounced Tynan. So this game, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, is developed by Ludion Studios. The game is called RimWorld, and this was a game that I played the alpha of very, very briefly at a friend's house.
When did this release?
2013 it was the first time it released. It is still technically an alpha, but it's one of the most complete alphas I've ever played for this kind of game.
It's 3 years later, Jesus.
Yeah, it's still technically an alpha because the developer is a single guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at least to my knowledge, it's one guy. I don't know if they have more people on the team now. We are playing this with exactly one mod. Here's the mods list for anybody that's curious. The EDB Prepare Carefully mod, which you can get from the Ludion forum. We'll have the link for that in the description. That is basically the same as Dwarf Fortress's Prepare Carefully. It is almost 100% the same.
So we gonna start a new game, or?
Yeah, we're gonna create a world from a random seed, which is any 4-letter word that you want, and we're gonna go ahead and make that a fairly large world. For those of you less hawk-eyed viewers, or maybe people watching on a phone, the word I typed in was cunt.
One of my favorite words.
And because I hate myself, we are going to play in a desert this time. I've never actually played in the desert successfly.
You better go next to some of that greenery and water.
Well, it should be pretty amusing to actually play. Oh, sorry, this is shrubland. We want actual desert. Oh, wow. That's a really short growing period. 6th of spring to 6th of fall. That's like no time to grow at all.
What's the blue shit? Ice?
Ocean. Or the light blue shit?
Yeah.
That's like tundra and boreal forest. Those are really hard to survive in. It is impossible to survive on the ice sheet, I'm pretty sure, because that is basically a frozen over ocean, and you can't get anything to grow there unless you've got hydroponics already.
Man, this music is pleasant.
It is, isn't it?
It's very pleasant.
The music, once we get actually into the game, is less of this sort of sound and more of that like Firefly-esque. Like, there's a lot of acoustic guitar sound.
Violin folk music?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Alright, so enough chatting. Let's get down to business. We have 3 basic storytellers. There's Cassandra Classic, which is she'll steadily increase the curve. Phoebe Chillax will allow you to...
little rat thing?
Yeah. She'll allow you to build a base, and she'll put a lot of time between disasters, but she will make them disastrous events. So you'll have a lot of time to recover, but they will be fucking disastrous.
Neil, you know what that little rat thing reminds me of?
The naked mole rats that are trying to buttfuck us?
No. He's way cuter than them. The patty melons, remember when I showed you those?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
No one who's ever seen patty melons, go look it up. They're like little tiny kangaroos, only a foot tall. They're adorable. Like
wallabies, but I guess wallabies are bigger.
Yes.
And then you've got this guy, Randy Random, which...
Really?
Yeah. If you couldn't tell by the general entropy of his...
yeah.
of his attire... he is 100% random events. He is like the original Dwarf Fortress, which is there to kill you and make you hate yourself for having spent any time. And speaking of Dwarf Fortress, this game is a lot like Dwarf Fortress. So,
I've never played either.
Well, here's the primary difference between this and Dwarf Fortress. This takes place in a sci-fi era, and there are graphics. Dwarf Fortress was an ASCII art game, and a lot of people find it pretty much impossible to actually play. So before, when I clicked, I was actually just looking at tiles that we could put our colony on. So this time, we're going to actually place the colony and then start to actually play. You did not just yawn.
No, I totally did.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Ugh.
Alright.
It's currently 2 in the morning, folks, or 3 in the morning. So this awesome, sweet, drifty music. If you hear snoring, that's my commentary.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm just fucking kidding, Jesus.
Anyway. So, typically you get 3 colonists, and that's it. You have no idea what you've got. You've got the 3 colonists, and then you're just basically standing there with your dick in hand, naked baby in the woods type into the fucking world. There is a fairly informative tutorial that I'll be completely ignoring.
People don't want to see tutorials, they want to see gameplay.
Right? Like, it's even in our show title. Blech, show title. What's the fucking point? Yeah, get to the fucking point. Alright. This guy's incapable of dumb labor. He won't do. This guy's incapable of intellectual. He won't do for a different reason. A good friend of mine, the guy whose house I played this at, gave me the best advice I've ever had for this game, which is try to have none of these numbers at an absolute 0, and try to have 0 dashes on any of these skills, and make sure that the incapable of is none when you're randomizing. Now, if you're using prepare carefully, you can hand cater this stuff, but right now I'm just rolling so that I don't have to do a whole shitload of modifying and bore you guys to tears with all the fine tweaking.
I'm already bored to tears.
Are you crying?
There's tears coming out of my face parts.
There's going to be more tears coming out of your face parts when I shove my fist down your throat.
Well, there's menus.
Yeah. No.
So many menus.
Well, the good news is we'll never play EVE Online on the show, so we won't have a whole lot of menus on the show for long. Alright, so we've got 2 green-thumbed people. One's heat-tolerant. That's going to come in handy.
In the desert.
He's also a jogger, which means he moves faster. We have a pessimist who is neurotic, and I need to tweak that mining skill.
Is he one of us?
No, I don't think so. He's a neurotic pessimist is not inherently a nihilist, although the 2 do share traits. And we have a beautiful prosthetophobe, which means that she is, like, terrified of having prosthetics. So one of the things that's probably the cheatiest about Prepare Carefully is you can turn these traits into whatever you want them to be. So, like, for example, our neurotic pessimist here, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that and make them iron-willed, which gives them better mental break threshold. They're going to be less likely to go completely apeshit and try to kill somebody. And their mining stat needs to come up a couple points. Because otherwise, we can't dig out the mountain that we, like, conveniently found ourselves in. Let's see. In fact...
So is there a story? Is it just kind of these people fell out of some seed ship and now they're told to live on the planet, or what?
That's more or less what happened. There's like...
Kind of Trigun-esque?
A little bit. I'm not 100% sure what the perfect definition of this game would be, but I think a close example would be like, man, wouldn't it suck if you were on a colony ship headed for like Alpha Centauri or the second Earth or whatever, and your ship got dropped on another planet that happened to be able to support human life but had indigenous creatures you'd never heard of or seen, and you could only, like, because it got attacked or whatever, you could only take certain livestock and things with you, like a male cat. We have a male cat in our list. Let's get rid of that. Components are important. Prepackaged survival meals are important, although not as important as you might think, because food's pretty plentiful in the green band of things. Pistol is important. Survival rifle is very important early game. Without Prepare Carefully, you're guaranteed only the components: silver, steel, wood, basically everything down to the plasteel knife here. and the components would normally be 30.
So is this Space Oregon Trail?
No, because in Oregon Trail you're trying to get somewhere. In this, you're just trying to survive. I guess that doesn't sound... It sounds like that's not the answer you were looking for. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just bored. Staring
Well-
at these screens of numbers.
Well, I am sorry that you're so fucking bored. Hey, cool. That's interesting. A moth just flew onto the monitor.
Oh, do you think they'll be able to see it?
There's some... Roman. Do I need to explain in brutal detail?
Well, you said it captures everything that's on the window. Is that a no?
It's
Maybe
a
you
no.
can make it go away with the mouse.
Go away.
Oh, wait!
Go.
It's
Go.
following the arrow. Holy shit. Oh, wow.
I guess it's the brightest thing on the screen. That's going to get annoying as
Yeah,
shit.
that's hilarious.
So it's a rooster, not a male chicken. What are you doing, game? All right.
Did they really say male chicken?
Yeah.
That's adorable.
So we're going to go ahead and get some... They don't even have female chicken.
Does it even just say chicken?
No.
Wow.
No, there's no female chicken. What the hell?
So,
What the hell?
you want this episode to go a little long since we're going through the number shit and start episode 2?
Oh, wait, there it is. Female chicken. I'm just...
With
retarded.
actual gameplay?
Well, Oh, Jesus. We're going to have 3 chickens. There shall be 3. And to answer your question, yeah, we're going to only make this about probably a 12-minute episode, which we're almost there. So let's go ahead and hit start. It's going to generate the map, and then we're basically just going to see you guys next time on Nihilhalla.